Limits and fear are just an illusion, but integrity is everything. There comes a time in everyone's life, a moment suspended between hope and doubt, when the shadows of fear grow long and the walls of limitation seem completely impenetrable. It is in these moments when you are most alone, all alone with your thoughts, that you face that true test. Will you be held hostage by your fears, or will you see them for what they truly are? Just illusions. I have stood on that edge. I have stared at the ceiling, the silence of night, asking myself, can I go any further? Should I turn back? Am I enough? Fear, disguised as wisdom, whispers back, stay small. Don't risk it. You can't. But the truth I have found in the hardest battles of my life is that limits and fear are nothing but illusions. They exist only in our minds, painted by our doubts and past wounds. When you dare to challenge them, they vanish like mist in the morning sun. But if limits are an illusion, then what is real? What remains when your excuse is gone, when the spotlight fades and only you remain? Integrity. Living with integrity is everything. It is the foundation that gives meaning to every success, the compass that guides you when the path ahead is dark and uncertain. When you live with integrity, you become unbreakable. Not because you are never hurt, but because you are never hollow. Your word is your bond. Your actions match your values. You are always at peace, regardless of the storm around you. Remember this: pain and fear, for most, they are signs to turn back, to give up, to stay small. Pain and fear, for those who wish to live greatly, they are the doorway to growth. I have felt that pain as many as you have. Pain so deep it threatens to erase my every sense of self. The pain of loss, of betrayal, of watching dreams dissolve and relationships fracture. I have been brought to my knees by the sheer weight of doubt, and I have learned. And what I have learned under these circumstances is that fear is a liar. It tells you that you are alone, unworthy, and destined to fail. But if you meet it with honesty, with integrity, with an unwavering tenacity, fear becomes your greatest teacher. Pain is not the enemy, it is the forge that tempers your spirit. Fear is not your enemy, it is the invitation to break through. Every time you face your pain and fear head on and act with integrity, owning your flaws, facing the truth, refusing to cut corners or refusing to betray your values no matter what, you get stronger. You start to see the boundaries between what you think is possible and what is truly possible begin to blur and eventually disappear. Why you rise and grind? Purpose. Pain and fear create the questions. Purpose gives you the answer. Purpose is found in the quiet commitment to do what is right, not what is easy. For me, and for many of you, that means living for more than myself. Serving my family, my team, my clients, my community. It means being the kind of father my daughters can trust and respect. The kind of leader my team can depend on. The kind of friend who stands up when it counts. Integrity breathes life into purpose. You cannot fake purpose for long. People will sense the truth. But when your purpose and your integrity align, you become a force of nature, unstoppable. Not because you never fail, but because you will always rise stronger than before, and your soul fully intact. When you cook for others, photograph the greatest moment, build a business, or heal a broken relationship, do it with your whole heart and do it with honesty and integrity. Don't cut corners. Don't seek shortcuts. Do what is right, especially when no one is watching. The courage to stand alone is power. There is power in the world far greater than fear. It is the power of a person who refuses to betray their integrity and their values, even when it costs them dearly. I have lost deals by refusing to waver on telling the truth. I have stood alone in my room or in a courtroom, refusing to play dirty. I have walked away from easy profit because it would have stained my name and my integrity. Did I pay a price? Yes, sometimes I did. But did I ever regret it? Not once. Power is not control over others, it is control over yourself. When you say no to fear and yes to truth and integrity, when you keep your promises, honor your word, and choose character over comfort, you tap into a source of strength that fear cannot come close to touching. People trust those who live with integrity. They will follow you, stand with you, fight for you, because they know who you are and they know your heart is pure. Integrity attracts, multiplies, and protects true power. The journey beyond illusion is progress. Remember this. Progress is not the absence of setbacks, even stubborn setbacks. It is the conquering of them with unwavering tenacity that leads to victory over them. I have failed again and again and again, but I never let failure turn me bitter, and I never let fear close my heart, and it never will. True progress is a process of unlearning the lies fear has told you that you may have believed. Every day, push one limit a little further. Speak one truth you have avoided. Choose the harder right over the easier wrong, no matter what. Forgive yourself and forgive others. Let go of what no longer serves you, especially the sources and the stories that say you can't. Progress is not always dramatic. Sometimes it is the quiet act of holding the line, of refusing to cheat, of honoring a commitment even when no one will know. Over time, these small choices become your greatest victories. Integrity, practiced daily, is the bridge between who you are and who you are destined to become. What truly endures is legacy. What will you leave behind? Your legacy is not what you accumulate, it's what you contribute. If you have lived with integrity, if you have dared to break through fear and redefine your own limits, your legacy is safe. You will be remembered not for perfection, but for your truth, your courage, and your willingness to care. I want my children, my loved ones to remember not just what I built, but how I built it. I want my clients and my team to remember the integrity and the tenacity it took. And win or lose, that I stood for what was right no matter what. I want every stranger who crosses my path to leave with more hope than they came in with. Integrity is the only legacy that matters. It is the seed that grows into truth, into love, into future where your impact echoes for generations. Live without illusions. Lead with integrity and answer the call. So now, I ask you, where and what are you letting fear decide? Where are you bowing to limits that are only shadows? This world does not need more followers of fear. It needs leaders of integrity. It needs people brave enough to see through illusion, to stand for what is right, especially when it's hardest. You, yes, you are that person. You can be that leader, that parent, that friend, or that teacher who chooses truth, who does good and is good. Tonight, as the soundtrack swells and begins to slow, and your heart beats faster because you are facing the truth, remember, you will never regret living with integrity. You will never regret choosing truth over convenience, courage over comfort, love over bitterness. Limits and fear are just an illusion. Integrity is your superpower, your fuel, your anchor, and your wings. Rise above excuses. Break through the invisible walls. Be the example your children need. The leader your team deserves. The change this world is crying out for. Do good. Be good. Let integrity light your path and carry you further than fear could ever imagine. Limits and fear are just illusions. Living with integrity is everything. Go live beyond both.